Hey, welcome to the Art of Relationship show here, people. It is another episode live. I don't do edits, not at all, people. So, welcome to the Art of Relationship show. I appreciate you tuning in. Tonight, going to be talking about what not only me, let's face it, it's subjective, right? It's individualized. What makes a great lover, right? And we're going to be talking about this tonight. So get your questions ready. And also, as every episode, we're going to be talking about live Q&A that you are able to ask your questions about dating, relationships, marriage, and yes, intimacy as well, people. So get your questions ready. We're going to kick off the Art of Relationship show right now, so don't go anywhere. Hey, welcome back, everybody. How's everybody doing tonight? I know everybody's exhausted. I don't know, last month or so, everybody's like, oh my God, I'm feeling dead. I feel like I'm out of it. I'm dragging booty. I don't know what's going on. If it's the heat around the country here in Michigan, it's been very warm too. But, anyways, hopefully everybody's doing okay. Hopefully everybody's doing fine. And you are feeling more in love, more connected. And if not, that's okay. I don't want you to be, but I get it. I understand it, and you're in the right place. The Art of Relationship show, going to be talking about what makes a good lover in your eyes. Have you ever thought about it? Is it just sex? Is it the physical act of sex makes a great lover? Hey, Lori. Hey, Katie. What's going on? And is that it? Or are there other things at play to make a great lover in your eyes? And we're going to be getting into those in a little bit. And as always, get your questions ready. It doesn't have to be related to the topic tonight. It can be anything related to dating, relationships, marriage, yes, sex, intimacy, people. And I throw them out there and I'll do the best I can to answer them. For those people that don't know who I am, my name's Greg Dudzinski. I'm a fully licensed professional counselor here in Michigan. Yes, in Detroit, woohoo, the D, uh, Detroit, Michigan. And I've been doing this actually this week marks, I've been doing this 22 years. Not 22 days, not 22 months, 22 years, a long time. So I'm a fully licensed professional counselor, graduate degree, all that stuff, certifications, post-grad work. And I'm also a relationship and sex specialist, and I do have a lot of grief and a lot of trauma experience as well. So throw out your questions, anything I can do to help you out. And just a quick disclosure, this does not replace the actual professional counseling that I do in my office. Okay. So, what makes a great lover? Let's jump right into it. Ehab, hey, what's going on? Chrissy, what's happening? Again, join in the comments. I should say that. Throw your comments, your questions in the chat, and I'll pick them up and do the best I can to answer them. Okay. Hi, Amanda, what's happening? So I want people to be able to look at and, throw the questions out there. Share this episode on your timeline platform, wherever you're watching it. I want to help as many people out there as possible. Try to have a great relationship. And also at the same time, what does connected mean emotionally, mentally, physically, sexually, soulfully? What does it mean to you to have a great relationship? And also, we're going to be talking about what makes a great lover, right? What makes a great lover, right? Ladies might out there say, oh, he needs to have a big 8-inch, 10-inch, whatever, right? But what if he doesn't know how to use it? And is all that matters? And a lot of women might realize, might know, maybe they don't know, and a lot of men don't know, that what happens is that, a lot of women don't reach orgasm through penetrative sex, okay? Some women do, a lot of them don't. So that's one way, is to educate yourself in what your partner needs to be a great lover, right? And this goes for, it doesn't matter if it's same sex couples, heterosexual couples, men, women, it doesn't matter. Okay. So that's where I want people to look at, in your eyes, what makes a great lover. And thinking about, for the single people out there, look at, hey, you know what? My past relationships, past history, whatever, what made a great lover to me? And we could look at, oh man, it was just great physical and all that stuff. But when I look at a great relationship, a good relationship, nothing's perfect, or a great lover, or great sex life, okay? And looking at, excuse me, a mind, body, heart, and soul, and what does that look like, okay? So those are the areas I want people to be able to look at, what is happening, what is going on, and understanding what happens, and to make it a great lover, right? Like I said, is it the physical? Is it the talent? And remember, a lot of people look at, you can become a great lover to your partner, right? But first you have to look at, what is your partner looking for? And you as an individual, what are you looking for to make a great lover, okay? And a lot of people look at, I want this, I want that, and they'll get in groups, women talk, friends talk, right? Guys might talk. It's, everybody's different. So you have to be very, if you want to say, flexible in a way, and be able to custom and be able to learn from your partner. And also, are you able to learn from yourself? Because if you don't know what turns you on, what, makes great sex, what makes a great lover in your eyes, it's also looking for, um, how are you going to teach your partner, right? Everybody look like that. A lot of people will look at that, it's all about this, it's all about that, it's all about that. But if you don't know yourself that well, you need to be able to look at, how are you going to teach your partner to be a great lover? Also, how is your partner going to teach you? And a lot of people get butt hurt, they get defensive, um, very insecure when they talk about this aspect, right? And I mentioned this on other episodes before. It's difficult. A lot of people can't even talk about intimacy, about sex. Hey, what can I do to make be a great lover to you? And the other person shuts down. Hey, what do you like? What do you don't like? Those type of situations. Okay, so that's where I want people to be able to look at, what is happening, what is going on, to learn. And if you are in a marriage, if you are in a relationship or dating, whatever, these are important to you to look at. Are one, what happens if someone asks you, hey, what can I do to be the best lover you ever had, to be a great lover to you? What would you tell him or her? What would you tell that person? Now, also, let's flip the script a little bit. What if, what, someone told you you were not a great lover, and I posted, on Facebook, I think, TikTok, social media, a 1 to 2, right? Or a 1 to 10, scale of 1 to 10. Where is your sex life? Where is your intimacy life? Where is your situation, to be able to look at, where would you rate your sex life? Is it a 1 to 10? Where would it be? Would it be a 1? And then I could even break it down, right? How would you rate that? Maybe with yourself, self pleasure, or with a partner, right? If you don't have a partner, but you also want to be able to look at what is happening in these uh, avenues, okay? Hey, Alana, what's happening? So, excuse me. These are the areas, but you have to look at, everybody talks about, we'll get into that, the physical aspects, right? Do you want someone that is a slow, has, the old song, I can't even remember, a slow hand, right? Do you want someone that's sensual? Do you want someone that's rough? Do you want someone that loves, the physical aspects of spanking? Do you want someone that is more into S&M, that is more into bondage? Would that make a great lover to you? Talking about the physical aspects. What about I sort of say physical is mixed with emotional when I talk about the the eye-to-eye contact, right? A lot of people get queasy. A lot of people laugh, giggle. They can't handle the deep, intimate connection and eye-to-eye contact during intimacy, during sex, okay? So having that deep connection, eye-to-eye contact, and feeling safe to be able to do that, not only safe enough, but to be able to feel confident enough that you can do this. Hey, I'm comfortable with myself, my sexuality. I want to be able to look at you, but some people, they don't want that connection. They don't want to be fully seen that way. So, do you like to be caressed? Do you like to be touched all over? Do you like to be licked? Do you like to be, kissed in certain body areas, right? We're covering the physical because most people look at that, right? Most people jump to this, so we'll get it out of the way. And then I'll flip the script a little bit later, okay? That's where I want people to be able to look at, again, share the video, share it on your timeline, your feed platform, wherever you're watching, viewing it. I want to help as many people out there as possible. Remember, throw your questions, your comments down below, people, and I'll do the best I can to answer them, okay? Hey, Katie. And I appreciate everybody tuning in, okay? Hey, Sipping with Sizzle, what's going on, bro? Great lovers drink beer. How many people agree with that, right? Great lovers drink beer. So you look at that. We gotta hook up again, Sizzle, and do another show with your knowledge as well. And how many people, right? Do we can? I wonder. There's research out there. I have to update it. The greatest lovers are people do surveys, right? Are they beer drinkers? Are they wine drinkers? Are they whiskey drinkers, vodka drinkers? Or are they people that don't drink alcohol at all, right? And there is even a little side note before I get back into the physical aspects, okay? That's where I want to look at people to be able to look at when they talk about people's favorite music, right? Country, rock. I'm not a country fan at all. But anyways, but that's where I want people to look at, rock, country, jazz, R&B, hip hop, EMD, right? We could look at all this, house music, indie music. We could look at all that. But what they realized, believe it or not, who was rated as the worst lovers, and I can't make this up. I heard that this was just released probably a couple weeks ago. The worst rated lovers, believe it or not, are the ones that like country music. No lie. A lot of people are gonna rip me apart. I'm being honest though. And one of the best, they say, are rock, and believe it or not, hip hop and R&B are like 1 and 2 rated up there, okay? So you also look at, now getting back into the physical elements out there, what do you enjoy? Do you like a lot of foreplay? Do you like not a lot of foreplay? Sorry. Some people, you might not like foreplay at all. And a lot of, women assume, or people assume women love foreplay, men don't. A lot of men love foreplay. I enjoy it. And some women don't enjoy it. So these are things that you have to look at. If you wrote a list out, you could write it out, right? Or text it to yourself, right? In your notes. Look at, what is a great lover to me? And I'm covering the physical elements for you to think about, look at. Do you like kissing? Do you like French kissing, the tongue, right? Some people, ew, gross. Do you like oral sex, right? Do you like giving, receiving, or do you think it's gross? Where one person will think, you will never be a great lover in my eyes if you don't enjoy giving or receiving oral sex, right? And some people say, to me, doesn't matter. So that's where I want people to look at physically what makes a great lover, right? If they learn your body, right? How you want to be touched, how you want to be caressed, kissed, licked. those type of things. Some people like a firmer touch. Some people like it more sensual and softer. It's looking at how well do you know your body and how well do you know your partner's body, and are you willing to learn, or are you one, or your partner is one that gets very they get insecure, they get defensive when you bring stuff up. And that's where I want people to be able to look at, hey, I love it when you do this, I love it when you touch me like this, instead of, boy, that hurts, that sucks, that's terrible, you don't know what you're doing. That's critical, right? And it's belittling. It might be true, okay, but I'm trying to promote more positive to turn you and your partner, if you have that, or you single, into a great lover. And what does that mean to you? Some people, oh, a great lover needs to last 3 hours, right? And I'm like, oh my God, I got to pick up my game, right? Some people don't want someone that lasts that long. What do you do to vibe on a physical level and learn each other? And again, you know what? To be a great lover, it's also maybe about compatibility. Not almost, but it is about compatibility. It's about wanting to please your partner in the way that works for them. And that's the trick, right? And what if you're not into a certain thing? What if you're not into, your partner doesn't want to spank you and you want to be spanked in both cheeks, right? What then could they ever be a great lover in your eyes? And this is part of compatibility. And we talk about, nothing's perfect, right? But at least, being a good or a great lover in your eyes, what would it take? What would it include when you have a list? And I'm going to get into the physical, right? You can make three columns, one column, or you can do them underneath each other, right? It's the physical that we're talking about. Maybe you want your feet caressed during it. You want maybe your toes sucked. Some people have feet fetishes, right? Maybe you want your breasts touched, tweaked, twisted a little bit, right? Some people want them pinched. Some people want nipple clamps on them. Some men do too, right? So these are all part of how you read each other with the physical element, okay? Some people want to be caressed on their back, all over, kissed on the back of their legs, back of their arms. Okay. So that's where I want people to be able to look at, what's it take? Or some people might just, be on top of each other, side to side. But also, what about the back? Would that make you a great lover? Meaning, do you like your shoulder blades kissed, licked? Do you like your lower back kissed, touch, caress, lick? What about the buttocks, right? The booty, the back of your legs. So a lot of people will look at, they center on the boobs, front, genital. I get that. But what about the back? A lot of people might, hey, what do you know, what's going on? But sometimes the back is, well, sometimes, a lot of times, it's very sensitive, and it can create a lot of enjoyment by caressing the back. Or if you think of like a massage, right? Some people can kiss the back and it creates a different sensation. Maybe some people it's like a little tease, a little tickle sensation tease that can be enjoyed. It also can be sensual, right? So those are areas I want you to think about throughout the whole body. Maybe you want your forehead kissed, your cheeks kissed, your eyelids kissed, right? Your ears nibbled on, sucked on, bit on. Those type of situations. And I have something that I integrated with myself with Gina Ogden. I call it the sexual exploration survey, if you will. And it talks about this, what areas of the body, it lists a bunch of them. And, would you like them kissed, nibbled, bit, licked, those type of things, right? And that's where I want you to be able to look at in the physical realm. So remember, people, throw your questions out there. I want to hear them. Talk to me, right? Well, text me. I want to hear your questions out there big time, right? So I want people to be able to, learn. Now we can write another column or underneath of that. It's about the emotional connection. What, not only physical, we talked about that, which most people, that's what they go after. But also, a great lover, you have to look at the emotional elements too, right? The emotional elements, like I said it before, maybe eye contact, that's not only physical, but it's emotional. Part of the emotional aspects too is about being able to look at, you know, could it be the verbal aspect, right? The what makes a great lover? Maybe it's compliments while you're making sweet love, right? Maybe it's compliments, or I love the sound of you. I love the taste of you. I love, kissing you. I love your skin. That could be the emotional. Or also, not only that, compliments and affirmations. Man, I love being married to you. I love being with you. Man, my heart belongs to you. My soul aches for you. My soul just freaking intertwines with you. These are the emotional aspects that you can look at that create a deeper connection that go along with the physical. Absolutely. But remember, people, not only that, but the emotional connection also can happen outside the bedroom. Or let's face it, it needs to happen outside the bedroom as well. And a lot of women will also say, hey, you know what? I want to feel the emotional connection, not just, we're having sex, right? What do you do to be a great lover? And the emotional connection might not necessarily be sexual or sensual, right? Well, they're two different things, right? Sex can be sensual, but sensual doesn't always mean sexual. It's about understanding, it's about learning what works for you and what works for your partner, okay? So the emotional connection is also making your partner feel safe emotionally, mentally, physically, right? Maybe emotional, making a great lover emotional, that you can talk about anything without feeling criticized, ripped apart, uh, belittled, degraded. Oh, that's stupid you feel that way. That's stupid you like that. That's stupid you don't like. No. It's about that emotional connection. And even when you are intimate, emotional connection also can be set by maybe music, maybe candlelight. Maybe some people want the lights on. Some people want no lights on. It's, the emotional can also be set by the senses, right? What you see, what you touch, the touching, right? It can be set by what you smell, what you taste, what what you smell, what you see, those elements. So it can be about the mood that you can set the sensual elements, right? Maybe a favorite song, maybe a favorite candle that he or she likes, right? Chocolate covered strawberries, right? The go to for a lot of people. Some people don't like them. So it's one of those things that you can entice and enlighten. And not only the emotional connection, maybe there's banter back and forth, the playful before you have sex, or maybe even during sex, you can have the playful banter. That also can be essential. How you read each other, how you connect each other, that man, she gets me, he gets me. We can be playful and have fun at the same time. So the emotional connection, again, is feeling safe, maybe having fun, right? It's making each other feel loved here, the heart, the soul, not only with the touch and the physical element, right? So when you put these two together, ooh, it can be electrifying. It can enhance your sex life a lot. Not only that, but a lot of couples, they have problems. They've been together 5 years, 10 years, whatever, 30 years, 40 years. And I ask them, are you able to have deep conversations? Are you able to be deep with one another? And not talking about sex at this point or penetrative sex, right? I'm talking emotionally. Are you able to be vulnerable and open with each other? Talking about intimacy, talking about being a great lover or not, right? That is also part of being a great lover. That is also part, if you can do that, that will enhance your sex, right? And a lot, oh, I'd like this, I'd like that. But I'm talking about emotionally. about being open and vulnerable with each other. Hey, I'd like to try this, but I'm afraid you might laugh at me. No, tell me what's happening, what's going on. Being able to openly talk and discuss about what you'd like to try, what maybe you're not into without feeling judged, that will enhance big time to being a great lover. And if that is not there, chances are your intimacy and your sex life will go down the toilet. Not only, let's face it, desire will be destroyed or killed, which means the frequency won't be there, the awkwardness sets in, the discomfort, the disconnect, right? The elephant in the room all the time, the tension. When you feel all that, how can you be a great lover to your partner? How can you be a great lover with each other if even one of you are feeling that way? So those are the enhancements about the emotional element to being a great lover, okay? Being a great lover mentally, we can throw that in there too. So we have emotionally, or physically, sorry, the emotional and the mental connection. The mental connection is a lot of people that I sort of tie it in with the emotional as well, but the mental connection means maybe you're on the same intellectual level, right? That doesn't mean you have to go to college, book smart. No. It could be, that you get each other. Maybe the mental connection also you can relate to politics. I hate politics, but we talked about that last week. But you can talk about work and get each other. You can talk about family stuff. You can talk about relative aspects to each other that you can get each other. The mental aspect is how you also handle conflict, right? Do you fight and scream all the time? Do you blow up? That's part of emotional regulation too, but it's also about the mental aspect. What if you like to talk about anything and everything and your partner doesn't like to talk? They're quiet, right? So that's also part of the mental chemistry, the mental compatibility, the mental connection that you can add to make a great lover, right? It's about connecting on that level. It could be about a hobby. It could be, whatever, a hobby, a sport, art, a theater, music, those things on the mental level that you can connect with. And that doesn't mean you have to agree on those aspects. It's about you can be able to talk about them, even if you don't like them or know that much about them. Hey, what do you like about this? What do you love about that? What do you see about that? I want to know what you see. It could be the mental aspect, even people look in the clouds. Hey, what do you see up there? I see a unicorn. Oh my God, I see a big penis, shaped penis. Oh my God, that cloud looks like a vagina, right? Those things, and not only the mental, it's also about this sense of humor that you can share with each other, okay? It's, the mental connection is, do you have similar sense of humor? Can you joke about similar things? Or is it one that, one jokes around, might be crude, that type of situation, but then the other one is, maybe more prim and proper? That's disgusting. Why would you? Now we're talking that mental connection or the mental chemistry might not be there. Okay. So that's where you look at the mental aspect when it comes into those type of things. Are you able to talk about whatever? Or some people are okay not talking about anything. It's that compatibility that matches. Okay. One person wants to talk about, that's all they talk about is cars, working on cars, what type of cars. And the other one is like, brain dead. Oh my God, I can't even talk, have a conversation. That's all they talk about. You get me? But it's about how do you talk about similar things, even if you don't like whatever. How do you learn from each other? Are you able? The mental element of being a great lover is also listening to each other, being heard, understanding each other. Right? Someone might tell you, hey, I like this way. I want to be touched this way, licked this way, whatever. I want to be done this way. and the other one just doesn't listen at all. You get me? Not only sexually, intimately, it is outside the sexual realm. It is also in daily life. Do you feel like you're heard? Do you feel like you're connected with? That is a mental aspect. And that's why I said, the mental and emotional elements they can go ebb and flow and they can integrate absolutely. But the mental also can be separate on, maybe conversational pieces. What you talk about, how much you talk, sense of humor, absolutely, right? Interest, that type of situation, right? If one person is trying to talk about one thing and the other one's like, oh my God, I can't have a conversation with them. I think they're an idiot, which is rude, okay? But those are situations that you have to look at the mental aspects, okay? That's where I want people to be able to look at those elements, okay? So that's where, throw out your questions, people. I want people to be able to look at what your questions are. What makes a great lover to you? What is one thing, maybe two things you can put in the comments down below that, that you can throw out there? What is important to you? And that's where I want people to be able to look at that, okay? So that's where I want people to be able to look at. And what are those elements, okay? I got one question. What do I do? I don't know if that is a legit, but I'll throw that out there again, okay? I'm a fully licensed professional counselor in the state of Michigan, Detroit area. Like I said, this week marks 22 years professionally. I've been doing this, graduate degree, post-grad, certifications, all that stuff. I'm a relationship and sex specialist. And like I said earlier, I also have a lot of grief and a lot of trauma experience working in those areas, okay? So, but those people, there's two people in here and you won't stop talking. Well, let me see. I want to see your questions. I don't see your questions, okay? So please throw your questions out there. I want to be able to answer them the best I can. So when you integrate the physical elements, right? Everybody jumps to them. I got those out of the way. Or some ideas, right? You can come up with your own ideas. The emotional, right? 1, 2, and 3 is the mental component of being a great lover. What else can you come up with, okay? What else can you come up with being a great lover? As Sizzle mentioned earlier on Instagram, great lovers drink beer, right? Some people, yeah. Some people disagree with that, right? Some people, like I mentioned, great lovers drink wine, whiskey, booze, bourbon, scotch, tequila, right? Uh, or wait, I think I'm a great lover when I drink tequila, but that might just make you a sloppy lover, not a great lover, right? So you look at those elements. Are you willing to learn? That's a great thing. Are you willing to be a better lover to your partner? Or if you're single, right, that you're willing to learn to be a better lover to whoever you're having sex with now, or down the road. If you're dating someone, if you're in a long-term relationship, if you're living with somebody, if you're married, right? Are you willing to learn to be a great lover? That does not mean that you have to say yes to everything. We all have boundaries. We all have maybe rules, right? And that's part of how do you be, and are you able to talk about those aspects to be a better lover, to be a great lover down the road. Number one is, are you willing to learn? Or nobody better tell me I'm a bad lover, or nobody ever tell me, hey, I'd like you to do this. I want our sex life to be better. What, you think I'm terrible? And the insecurities, the ego and the pride gets in the way. And if you're unwilling to learn because of ego, pride, insecurities, those are things I call sexual immaturity, okay? And these are things that highlight the physical, like I mentioned, the emotional and the mental components. Being able to talk about these, express these elements and what works for you, that's part of sexual maturity. And that goes with confidence. If you want to say sexual maturity, sexual confidence, they could be the same thing versus sexual immaturity. And it's nothing to be, I don't tell people, I'm not into shaming. I'm not into those situations, shaming, bashing, those type of elements, not at all. I'm looking at what would it take for you to become more sexually confident? What would it take for you to become more sexually mature that you can talk about these elements, right? And I understand that, okay? I look into that a lot of people are not they're insecure. It could be they were raised a certain way, very conservative, very strict, very religious, and it's sinful, it's all this. I respect people's beliefs, but I challenge them to look at, is it those type of situations, or are you willing to grow and evolve, and what does it look like? Okay. And I want people to be able to challenge their beliefs. I'm not saying bash them, ridicule, whatever, right? There's enough people doing that. But I want you to look at what makes certain things bad. What makes it difficult to talk to? Why do you think a certain physical part of sex is gross? It's not right. It doesn't mean we love each other. I want to know where those thoughts come from. Are they myths? Are they because of a lack of education? Or are they caused by education that's not accurate, that's been biased, that's judgmental, that's about shaming, right? Same thing with the emotional elements, right? Same thing with the mental. I want you to be able to expand and grow and become better lovers, definitely for yourself and also for your partner, your husband, your wife, right? Boyfriend, girlfriend, doesn't matter. Or if you're single, that's okay too. I want people to be able to grow and think about these elements. What makes a great lover for you, and what are you looking for in a great lover down the road if you want a relationship, if you want to live with somebody, if you want to, be married? It's okay. Own it, right? And a lot of people will look at, well, I'm single. I don't even want to look at this stuff. My question is why? Right? Why? Because you're single. If you want to be single forever, can you still work on being a better lover? If you want to be single and have sex with somebody, it's okay. No shame. There's no sex shaming, right? A lot of people will bash, that's wrong, that's immoral. They need to get off their high horse. And, you're an adult now, right? Be safe, absolutely. But you can still improve and enhance on those areas, even talking about that, even working on the emotional, aspects of sex, the mental aspects, and definitely the physical elements, right? So those are things where I want people to be able to grow and become more sexually competent, confident. I said competent, right? And sexually mature in those areas, okay? And like I said, I interchange sexual maturity, sexual confidence, could be the same thing, right? And how many people out there, right? They'll have somebody, oh yeah, I'm a great lover. I've been told I'm the greatest lover ever. And then you're with them and you're like, boy, someone's been lying to you, right? That are overconfident, that they think they're great and they're really not. Teach them, talk to them, bust their ego, right? Respectfully, be nice. Well, maybe I think you need to do this. I've never had any complaints before. Well, maybe some people were afraid to hurt your feelings before. Maybe you're not as confident enough to actually hear new stuff or to hear little improvements that are needed. You get me? So those are areas I want people to be able to mature on, to grow on, to become more confident. Okay? So I'm going to sign off for tonight. I appreciate everybody tuning in on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever you're listening, LinkedIn. I appreciate you. And as always, you can check out all the episodes of the Art of Relationship show. The easiest way to find all the episodes is on YouTube at Love Guru Greg. And, at Love Guru Greg, you find me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. I appreciate, you spending your time. And I'm all about trying to help people have self love, self respect, and also promote a deeper connection in your relationship and marriage. And nothing's perfect, but to try to get you connected, heart, soul, and physically in your relationship. And what would that mean? Being vulnerable, being open, being able to talk about this stuff, right? That's huge. A lot of people will hold on to stuff that for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Man, you know what? Our sex hasn't been that great. And the other partner is thinking, oh, I thought it was great. Be open, be honest, right? Don't be afraid to hurt someone's feelings. Don't be afraid to piss your partner off. That doesn't mean that's your intent. Be careful. Hey, Greg, G said it's okay to piss him. No, but I want you to speak from trying to teach, not bash, not criticize, not belittle. But we all know, right? We have to have a partner or person in our life that is willing to be taught. That includes us too, right? And sometimes there are those that don't want to be taught. And then decisions have to be made. Is that a viable relationship or marriage for you to be in? Okay. I can't answer that for anybody. Only you can. So check out my profile up above or wherever you're listening, watching. Theartofrelationships.org is my website. And again, I appreciate you spending your time. Your time is valuable for real. I'm flattered and humbled. I appreciate you very much. Okay. Peace and love. Everybody have a good night and see you next Wednesday. Bye bye.